Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the Erzetich Thalia. I've already done a couple of reviews on Erzetich headphones, both the Mania and the Phobos, and the Thalia is both lower priced and quite a bit smaller. This is a on-ear design, and it's also intended to be driven by portable devices. It's very efficient and easy to drive. Anyway, the Thalia, like the other Erzetich headphones, are made in Slovenia, and this sells for 599 euros, but it's also available through Onsung Audio in the USA for 699 US dollars. This headphone is available in 3 different colors. This here is a dark wood with an aluminum grill on it. It's also available with I think a black wood with a black grill and a lighter colored wood with a black grill. This is a wired mid-size on-ear open back design. It uses a 40 millimeter dynamic driver that is made of titanium. Like I said, it's quite a bit smaller than the Mania and Phobos. The Mania is about 4 inches in diameter, the ear cups, and the Phobos is about 4.5 inches, and this comes in about 2.75 inches. And the ear pads are about 70 millimeters in diameter. According to Erzetich, this headphone has an impedance of 32 ohms, and the sensitivity is not listed, but like I said, this headphone is very easy to drive, very efficient, and once again, this was intended for portable use. Erzetich claims a weight of 270 grams on this, which is very light, and according to my scale it comes in at 271, so we're in agreement on that. I believe the ear cups are made of linden wood like the larger headphones. It is a real wood. It's not a veneer. It's actually the ear cup is carved out of a solid piece of wood. I believe the grills are aluminum, and then the yokes are a metal, a steel type thing. You have similar adjustments as on the larger headphones from Erzetich. You have a screw type adjustment that lets it slide up and down, and then the yokes also swivel, and then you've got a metal steel headband with some padding on the inside. And the ear pads, I'm assuming, are like on the Mania and Phobos. They are synthetic leather. Erzetich does not believe in killing animals to build their headphones. The cable that comes with these is detachable, and it connects to both ear cups. And as you can see, they use a 3.5 millimeter connection, which the 3.5 millimeter and the 4-pin Mini XLR seem to be the most popular connections now. That's what's coming on just about everything. So this is matches up with cables from headphones from almost every company now. And the cable that comes with it is probably about, and I've got it tangled up a little bit here. Let's see if I can get this undone, is about probably 4.5 feet long, and it's very nice looking cable, nice ends on it. It does come with a 3.5 millimeter end at the amp end because it was intended to be used as a portable, but you can use a 6.3 millimeter adapter to use it with your home amp. And it uses 3.5 millimeter connections at the ear cups. I did pretty much show you the headphone, but I'll try to give you a closer look at it here. And like I said, aluminum grills, wooden ear cups, synthetic leather ear pads. I believe they are very soft and very comfortable. As far as my review of this, I primarily use the Headamp GSX Mini in my, review or in my evaluation. Probably, to be honest, I probably only have maybe about 3 hours in on these so far. I've actually had them I think about 10 or 11 days now, and as I mentioned in my last couple of videos, I've been sick and trying to recover from that, and got behind on my lawn care business and spent about a week and a half trying to catch up, so I haven't had a whole lot of time. But we had a couple, today was real cold and I was home, and finally got a chance to listen to these quite a bit and do a little bit of comparison to a couple other headphones. So I wanted to get, my first impressions out on this tonight, and I appreciate Erzetich, or Onsong Audio is actually the one that sent these to me. I appreciate their patience with me. Anyway, music, pretty much my standard music, some classic rock, some pop, some electronic, some acoustical, a little bit of orchestral music, sort of a variety. And I did get a chance to compare these to 3 other headphones today. The first, because it's my only other on-ear type headphone, is the Grotto SR80, and I realize that is not a fair comparison. The SR80 sells for $99, this sells for $6.99. But I did want to compare as far as the efficiency, because that's a very efficient headphone. And I found out this is actually slightly more efficient than the Grotto SR80. I plugged them both in to the 2 headphone outputs of my benchmark DAC1, and these were actually slightly louder than the Grotto. So, and as far as sound quality, well, I'll talk about that in a little while. Anyway, I also compared these to the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, which is a full-size open back, and the Kennerton Magni, which is a full-size over-the-ear closed back. And I realize they're not exactly the same type of headphone, but the Kennerton Magni at $769, I believe, is the closest headphone I have to this price. A couple of weeks ago, I did have the Bear Dynamics T1 2nd generation, which is selling in the 700s right now, but I don't have that with me now. So the Kennerton Magni is the closest in price. The Hi-Fi Man Sundara did originally sell for $500. You can get it for $350 now, but I wanted to compare it to that because it's a very, very detailed headphone, exceptional detail for its price. And I wanted to compare the level of detail to that. So anyway, getting into the sound, and like I said, I've only got maybe 3-4 hours of actual listening time in on these. So I'm just going to give you kind of a rough, feeling of my sound. In a couple of weeks, I'll be back with a full review of this, and I may make some changes as I put more time in on them, and might change my opinions a little bit, but that's how it always works. The more time I put in, the better grasp I have of the actual sound, and get a chance to compare to more headphones. And I can't just sit down and listen to a pair of headphones and really tell you how they sound, because my brain quickly adjusts, and pretty much any headphone sounds good to me at first. It's not until I compare it to other headphones that I use as my references before I can really, give a good evaluation of how the sound is. Oh, I don't know if you saw it, but check out my t-shirt. Got this from Erzetich. Pretty cool, huh? So anyway, getting into the sound, the first thing I noticed about these headphones is the tone balance I would consider pretty much just absolutely neutral. The Mania, which is the next step up, and that's a full-size headphone, has a little bit of emphasis on the bass, and I would say these, they have good bass, but I would say it's pretty much a neutral bass. It's not really emphasized. These seem to be just about dead neutral all the way through the frequency response to me. As far as frequency extension, they have very good extension on the top end into the treble. The bass, they extend very well into the mid bass, They don't go extremely low. Not as low as the Mania or the Phobos. You know, it's a small headphone, and they just don't seem to dip real deep into the sub bass, but they have a very good mid bass, and they do get into the sub bass a little bit, you know. I mean, you know, so it's not lacking in sub bass, it's just no emphasis on it. The bass itself, I would describe it as very tight and solid and controlled. It's actually, and this headphone has good dynamics, so the bass has got some pretty good punch to it too. To me, this headphone is not lacking in bass. It's not a bass head headphone. It's not emphasizing the bass, but if you're looking for a neutral headphone that, you know, plays the music the way it was recorded, the bass seems just about right to me on this. The mids are a little bit forward. They're kind of in your face. They're, you know, they're up close, especially vocals. And I'd say the mids just have a slight warmness and a little bit of richness to them. When I was comparing this to the Hi-Fi Man Sandara, and I would say the tone balance is real close to the Sandara. Also, you know, a headphone I would consider neutral and, you know, no emphasis on the bass or anything. I would say the tone balance of this is actually pretty close, but I would say the mid-range, especially female vocals, are a little bit warmer and a little bit richer than the Sandara. Actually, very pleasant. Female vocals sound a little dry to me on the Sandara after listening to this. The treble is well extended, and it's clean and it's crisp and it's got good sparkle to it. The sound stage, it has good width. I'm hearing sounds from quite a ways out, but this does not have the openness of the Mania or especially the Phobos. The Phobos just has a huge soundstage, possibly the largest soundstage I've ever heard on any headphone. It just sounds like the music's coming from all around me in every direction, where this is a little more focused left to right. So good width, but not a huge amount of depth and not a huge amount of height to the soundstage. You know, a little more intimate, I guess is a word people use in describing, you know, a smaller soundstage. Like I said, good width, but not a whole lot of depth or height that I'm hearing so far. But, you know, let me put a couple more weeks on these, and, you know, maybe that's just what I'm hearing initially. Sometimes my opinions change a little bit. Imaging seems to be very good separation of instruments. Each has its own location. Like I said earlier, the dynamics seem to be very good. It seems to be quite dynamic, and you know, definitely has some punch in the bass. Not an overemphasized bass, but punchy, and, you know, it's pretty solid. I saved this for last, and that's detail, because that is this headphone's really strong point, is detail. The detail on this, from what I'm hearing so far, seems to be exceptional. Excuse me, my throat's still a little dry. Anyway, yeah, exceptional detail on this. I compared this to the Hi-Fi Man Sandara, which is a less expensive headphone, but that Sandara is known for being very, very detailed, way above its price class. And I also compared this to the Kennerton Magni, and the detail on the Magni can hold its own against flagship headphones of $2,000–$3,000. So, two very detailed headphones, and this headphone holds its own against both of those exceptionally well. Neither one of those has anything on this headphone as far as details. So that is this headphone's absolute strong point. The detail on this, the resolution, the clarity are outstanding. Just nothing lacking at all. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. So That about wraps it up. This is my first impression. I'll try to be back in a couple weeks with a more detailed review of the sound. And so anyway, but so far I'm really enjoying this headphone. I do like it a lot. And I will get back to you in a couple weeks and, with my final thoughts on it, let you know what I think. So, in the meantime, once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you are all welcome to join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook, and we are now up to over 7,600 members, so come check it out. Thanks for watching my video.